So I think a lot of stuff has gone down in the last couple of days, right? From the brand new trailer for, of course, Spider-Man, that's something that had the entire community, right, just extremely hyped up. Did that stuff actually live up to the hype? Of course it did, right? Like, that stuff has so many people really excited. Now you're probably wondering, well, why on earth am I actually talking about the No Way Home trailer, and how does this link to Marvel's Avengers, and what on earth is today's video about, right? Now, let me break it down for you, because we, of course, have the market update, which is the usual stuff, new skins in the game, etc, etc. But you see, what's really interesting is they've made an official statement regarding the roadmap again, and now it's not the first time they've gone ahead and made that statement. It's now technically the second time where they go ahead and mention what is basically going to be coming in the very near future for this game. Now, the reason why I'm talking about that Spider-Man trailer, and by the way, we have started to roll out content on the channel for that stuff. We've got a really cool dude who goes by the name Tyler on our team who's going to be covering that stuff. So if you haven't checked those videos out, definitely do so. The link will be in the description below. But that stuff is basically lining up to what we know is going to be the next DLC in Marvel's Avengers. It's going to be the SpiderMan DLC. We've all been ultimately just, anticipating a December release. We were then told that it's actually still 100% on track for the end of the year. Now, diving into the statement that was actually released today is, we know you've been asking for an updated roadmap, and of course here we're talking Roadmap 2.0, right? And that's going to look beyond Wakanda, and we'll have that one for you shortly. Now, it's important to us that when we announce our plans for future content brackets, and there will be future content, they are plans that we can actually commit to. We hope you can be patient with us as we finalize details. Now, there's a couple ways you can actually break down this message, right? First of all, I've been seeing tons of you guys actually tell me, well, hey, it's practically going to be, it would make sense, at least anyway, to go ahead and drop the new roadmap for this game's future on the 1-year anniversary, which, if you don't know, is actually 9 days away. It was September the 4th, 2020 when this game was released. So we are very quickly approaching that, which would actually technically mean that the next week market update, technically blog update as well, would ultimately give some sort of like message towards the 1-year anniversary, because of course it falls on a Saturday this year round. But that still basically full circles back to the point that I'm trying to say here. So we know it's a Spider-Man DLC, it's just a matter of, are we going to be getting this in 9 days? So that's one way we can break down this message and say, well, yes, that's going to be more realistic than probably dropping it on a complete random day, because ultimately there is no right or wrong day to go ahead and drop, the Roadmap 2.0, just like with the Black Panther stuff. Technically that stuff never aligned with their release schedule and what we all kind of like had as a theory, so it's not, completely random for them to just go ahead and, go off track and drop it on a complete different day. So yes, we can always say that 9 days is basically what we can all ultimately hope to be the day we see the reveal on Roadmap 2.0, which now having that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer release as well could basically tie into. Here's the interesting thing though, of course with that trailer at the end, there's a big Sony sponsor there, right? And it's promoting the PlayStation 5, etc, etc. Well, hey, this Spider-Man DLC is an exclusive to Sony, so you can see where we're going here, right? Now is the time they can go ahead and just officially drop something for the Spider-Man DLC, because if we are expecting this in December, we kinda gotta see something now, so it would make sense for that to be a scenario. Now, the other way we can go ahead and break down this message, and this is the more kind of like thinking in the long run, when they stated that when they announce plans for future content, they basically need to make sure that when they go ahead and announce it, it's actually something they can commit to. Now, are we talking in terms of commitment, A, like having the team in place and actually being able to pull off such a DLC or content in general, or B, are we talking about that lifeline towards the game? This is incredibly important, because a lot of people, including myself, we was really kind of going down that road and saying, well, it's very likely that if the game still performs the way it is, and we're talking like from when the game was released up until like February, March, we was like, if it keeps performing this way, it would make sense for them to go ahead and pull the plug for the game, because it's a game where they're giving more content for free. So the only thing you're actually paying for, should I say, and they're basically relying on is the marketplace. So if there's not enough players and there's not anyone really using the marketplace anyway, then it would make no more sense to go ahead and drop more DLC or content in the game, because all of that stuff is for free anyway. So hopefully you can see where I'm going here. That's the other way that I took this message, and I don't know guys, like I've got to really just be real here, and it comes down to one or two things. The Black Panther DLC was great, like it really was, and I can safely say, in my personal opinion, it was more than enough to say like, hey, this is what we can do with the game. And yes, for, you know, this brief moment right now, which we still don't know when the end is going to be, it has technically saved the game. But it's literally the other side of me that feels like, okay, well, how far do we go with this same feeling? Like, how much can we rely on this DLC that we have right now until we get new content in the game? Then, of course, you got other games coming up, right? Literally just right around the corner. I mean, we're talking like Marvel Midnight Suns. That trailer dropped the other day, of course. Even though we haven't seen gameplay for that stuff, you can kind of get a feel on how that game is looking. I know a lot of people are 50-50 on it. Like, it seems promising in my opinion. Do I think it'll be good? I genuinely don't know, but it's the fact that it's another Marvel game that ultimately will be deemed as, to an extent, a competitor, right? Because that's 2K involved in that game. This game, of course, is Square Enix. Two complete different companies. What if one actually pulls off the other game way better, right? I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen gameplay, but the point still stands. So that is the update that we have right now. I personally, and literally don't take my word from it, because, well, don't take my word for it, should I say, but this is me, how I feel, and where my eggs are right now. My eggs are all in one basket, and I am genuinely very anticipated for September the 4th, because I just feel like in 9 days we more than likely, realistically, in fact it would be a great time to go ahead and drop Roadmap 2.0, So that's where I stand. That's how I feel about the whole scenario right now. Personally, I'm just fed up of seeing like these teaser messages. Sure, they're great because they give you an insight to say like, hey, just to let you know, we haven't actually forgot about you guys, but equally it's like you just keep saying the same thing now. So I'd rather see something than just see the same message loads of times. So I'm sure there's loads of you guys that can definitely go ahead and relate to what I'm saying here. But can that be the moment that saves the game, like for the next year, the roadmap, as opposed to the Black Panther DLC? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this one here, so I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.